The Rock is the fakest celebrity in Hollywood.
I can tell you with a little bit of uncertainty because I failed math, I was probably at that time ingesting about anywhere between 6 to, well, I would say possible, almost 8,000 calories a day.
I can tell you there is no way The Rock burns off enough calories to average 6,000 to 8,000 calories a day and look like this. If he actually ate those kind of calories, 6,000 to 8,000 a day, he would be 100 pounds overweight. There is no way he eats this much.
The Rock is not that. Okay. The Rock, he's not a patient of mine, so I don't worry about getting sued.
We're going to be talking about what steroid cycle I think The Rock uses.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was once Hollywood's untouchable icon, a real-life superhero with a megawatt smile and an underdog story that made people believe in the American dream. From a wrestler booed with chants of "Die, Rocky, die," to an action star raking in billions at the box office, he seemed unstoppable. With hard work, charm, and a social media empire of over 400 million followers, he became the man every studio wanted. Producers begged to work with him. Fans embraced his relentless positivity, and social media crowned him as the king of perseverance. But today that polished image is cracking, crumbling faster than a failed Hollywood script. From the flop of Black Adam to behind-the-scenes power plays that turned Henry Cavill into collateral damage, The Rock's string of controversies has left fans asking, has Dwayne Johnson finally hit rock bottom? Yes. From rock bottom to global superstar, Johnson's story began in the shadows. A broke kid from Hawaii, arrested multiple times for fighting and theft. His early dreams of football collapsed when the Canadian team he played for cut him. With just $7 in his pocket, the inspiration for his company, $7 Productions, he turned to wrestling. In the WWE, he transformed from Rocky Maivia, a rookie mocked out of the ring, into The Rock, a cocky, electrifying villain who spoke in third person and had audiences roaring. Unlike most wrestlers who stayed trapped in their heel personas, Johnson managed to flip the script. He became the industry's most beloved star, and then made the leap to Hollywood. At first, he played gentle giants in family comedies like The Game Plan and Tooth Fairy. But when those films underperformed, he rebranded again, bulking up into the bald, invincible action hero we know today. This was no accident. It was a calculated move to erase box office failures and reinvent himself as Hollywood's most bankable brand. $7 Productions became his fortress, producing multiple films a year, locking in lifetime rights and ensuring Johnson had full control. He revived sagging franchises like Fast and Furious and Jumanji, selling himself as both nostalgic and fresh. But this carefully crafted formula came with a cost. The first questions arose around his body. At age 50, Johnson's superhuman physique drew scrutiny. He admitted to trying steroids in his teens but denied any current use. Even as experts pointed out his massive transformation in recent years was biologically impossible without enhancement. Joe Rogan bluntly said, "There's not a chance in hell he's clean." This wasn't about steroids themselves. Hollywood is no stranger to them, but about trust. By building his brand on health, fitness, and authenticity, Johnson trapped himself in a lie. If he admitted to enhancements, he'd risk losing credibility with millions of fans who believed in his 4 a.m. grind persona. Fans began noticing other inconsistencies. His so-called first-time eating In-N-Out burgers was exposed as staged, not once but multiple times. Fans realized even his cheat meals were manufactured PR stunts. Online, the backlash was brutal. He's just a walking advertisement. Then came the charity scandal. In 2023, Johnson and Oprah Winfrey launched a fund for Maui wildfire victims. But instead of donating the bulk themselves, they asked ordinary people to give. Outrage exploded. He's worth hundreds of millions. Why is he asking us for money? Facing the backlash, Johnson issued a public apology, but by then, the damage was done. Yes. The Black Adam disaster. Johnson's biggest gamble came with Black Adam. He hyped it as a history-making turning point for DC, repeating endlessly, "The hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change." But when the film hit theaters, it collapsed. Critics called it hollow. Fans dismissed it as another cookie-cutter rock roll, and whispers of a shocking contract clause emerged. Johnson's character was not allowed to lose, show weakness, or display vulnerability. In other words, Black Adam could never be anything but invincible. That clause destroyed the character's complexity. Instead of a dark, layered anti-hero, audiences got The Rock in a cape. Worse, Johnson fought the studio to block a Black Adam Shazam storyline and instead forced the return of Henry Cavill as Superman, only for Cavill to be dropped weeks later when DC leadership changed. Fans blamed Johnson's ego for throwing the franchise into chaos. The film flopped financially, losing over $100 million. Johnson's team tried to spin fake profit reports, but the stunt backfired, further eroding trust. Yes. Red One and Set scandals. Then came Red One, a $250 million holiday film meant to launch a new franchise. Instead, it tanked, grossing under $200 million with a dismal 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. Behind the scenes, leaked reports claimed Johnson repeatedly showed up 7 to 8 hours late to set, forcing overnight shoots and inflating the budget by tens of millions. And then, the infamous pee bottle scandal, where crew members alleged Johnson urinated in bottles on set and left assistants to deal with them. For fans, it was bizarre. For Hollywood insiders, it exposed a toxic culture where the star's entitlement ruled over professionalism. Online, the mockery was relentless. He wakes up at 4 a.m. to post selfies, not to work. Yes. Wrestling fans betrayed. Johnson's return to WWE was supposed to be a homecoming. Instead, it angered fans. For years, the company had built up Cody Rhodes as the hero destined to finish the story at WrestleMania. But just as that moment approached, The Rock inserted himself into the spotlight, overshadowing Rhodes and derailing the payoff fans had waited for. When Johnson disappeared shortly afterward, leaving Rhodes with a weakened storyline, the backlash was explosive. One fan summed it up. He's not the people's champion anymore. He's just the corporate champion. Yes. A brand without a soul. From clashes with Vin Diesel on Fast and Furious sets, to whispers of political ambitions where he avoids taking any strong stance, Johnson's once relatable persona now feels hollow. Every move looks calculated, every statement sanitized. Where fans once saw sincerity, they now see a carefully managed billboard. Online, the comments are harsher than ever. He lost himself in his own power bubble. He's not Dwayne anymore, he's just a brand. Yes. The question of redemption. Now, all eyes are on The Smashing Machine, an upcoming film where Johnson will portray troubled MMA fighter Mark Kerr. For the first time in years, he may have to shed the invincible Rock persona, hide behind prosthetics, and embrace true vulnerability. The question is, can he do it? Or will his obsession with control and image sabotage the one role that could finally restore his credibility? One fan's sarcastic remark captures the mood. Has The Rock finally hit rock bottom? Dwayne Johnson built his empire on authenticity, discipline, and connection with fans. But in chasing total control, he traded sincerity for spectacle, leaving behind a legacy riddled with arrogance, PR scandals, and broken trust. The Rock may still be one of Hollywood's biggest names, but whether audiences see him as a star or just a brand will define the rest of his career.